Certainly, I hadn't raised any concerns. I pretty much gave a statement on as to the trip that we took to London and some of the findings that we had. And then out of the questions, I think some concerns did come up. There were some concerns about David Cameron moving forward and saying that we had signed up to the multilateral agreement. And I think it's very important that we be very clear. Bermuda has not taken any kinds of quantum leaps into some new area or a new agreement on a multilateral agreement. It's important for Bermuda also to understand that through the FATCA agreement, pilot agreement, it is a multilateral agreement to transparency and beneficial business ownership. It's also important for Bermuda to know that we are the leaders when it comes to transparency and beneficial ownership. And the only thing that we have verbally said to David Cameron is that we intend to continue to be as transparent and continue to ensure that tax evasion does not happen in Bermuda. Again, we are a reinsurance domicile, and so much of what has been going on around the world has nothing to do with Bermuda. We remain one of the pristine, I was saying in the House today, pristine jurisdictions. I was saying in the House today how we have been the leaders, and that when it comes to beneficial ownership and when it comes to transparency, we are further ahead than most of the G8 nations. So that's an important fact. We have been the leaders in this industry. I do recognize that Prime Minister Cameron is looking forward to a global standard and to ensure that fair standards are set. We don't have challenges with a global standard, but the key is that we don't know what that's going to look like. Under the agreement, the multilateral agreement that he is wishing folks to agree to, there is in Article 6 a clause that says that each jurisdiction has the right to determine the way forward when it comes to arranging that transference of information. And so we'll continue to do that as we go forward. But for us to be signing up to something would be premature, because I think so many questions are being answered and the full answers have not come forth with. And that's what the Finance Ministry is working on, getting more answers to many of the questions that we have. So again, I think most out of the trip that we did take, it's important for Bermuda to know that we need to have a campaign, a PR campaign that continues to talk about what it is that we do. We are not a tax haven, and it was good to see the governor in his article today restating the fact that Bermuda is not a tax haven. We are a low-tax jurisdiction, and I believe that Prime Minister Cameron has been making moves as well in lowering the tax in the UK. So, he's heading in that direction as well. But again, Bermuda will continue to do what it does. We are not changing the format. We are not changing the fundamentals of what it is that we do. The businesses that we have are intact. We've signed, Bermuda has signed 39 TIAs with these arrangements, these agreements with different countries and third world countries, so that we ensure that we have open transparency and beneficial business ownership and the transference of that information. We have chosen the Model 2, which allows for any request of information that it go through the banks with the government being informed. There is an IG Model 1 that states that that information should be coming from government. We elected to IG 2 model, and we will stick with that model because we believe it is beneficial for Bermuda. Yeah, we will be having a meeting, all of the overseas territories, the prime ministers and premiers, and some of the cabinet ministers of these different countries and crown dependencies. So we will be having a follow-up meeting just to get an update as to where we all are heading with this multilateral agreement. It's important, I think, also to understand that we're in unanimously together in voicing our concerns, as we have the right, our Constitution gives us the right to determine our destination financially and the kind of jurisdiction we want to have here.